Greetings of peace. Today I'm going to do a video of the RMNA COVID vaccine. So 2020, the COVID lockdowns happen and they roll out a vaccine. Pretty much the vaccinated, they pretty much were threatening to terminate your jobs and your ability to work and go to school and travel if you didn't take this shot. So a lot of people capitulated. Some people did get fired from their jobs. Some people did, face certain setbacks, and a lot of these people sued and were successful in court. So let's talk about the mRNA vaccine. Am I for it? Yes or no? No, I'm not. Because most vaccines take about 10 to 20 years of trial and testing before it's deemed fit for human consumption. This vaccine was rolled out in the span of like a year, 2 years, not assuming this wasn't an event pre-planned years in advance. So why am I against the mRNA vaccine? Well, here's the thing, we're here in I can't talk about other countries, but here in the United States, you have the right to be safe and secure in your persons, you know what I'm saying? And the mRNA vaccine violates that principle for the simple fact is that there's always a risk that comes with taking vaccines. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these vaccines have a lot of toxic components to it. They're not 100%, they're not foolproof, which is why they need to be tested, trialed, and tested over 10, 20 years. Now, this wasn't the case. Also, the fact that it was presented to you as compulsory or at risk of your livelihood, that's a serious issue. Number one, because they're saying that, it's supposed to vaccinate about COVID and stop people from perishing, et cetera, et cetera. But fact of the matter is those that got the vaccine still got COVID, or many of them still got COVID. So it didn't even work. It doesn't even work. Not only that, if you look online years later, now that, we're past the COVID in regards to the mRNA vaccine, you'll see that many of those who took it were healthy before and after have been stricken with debilitating health disorders such as seizures, tumors, their hair falling out, many other complications. You could go on the internet and look at this yourself, right? Also, there is, those who have been injected are sharing reports of spike protein, high concentrations of spike protein in their body after taking the mRNA vaccine. And then people who work in the morgues, they're saying after the COVID season, when they're, doing their work, they're finding long tumors inside the people who have perished that were not present prior to the COVID season. Higher people are reporting issues with myocarditis, I believe, which is an issue with the heart as a result of the mRNA vaccine. There was also a German scientist who was reporting the findings and facts of graphene oxide inside the human body, after consuming these mRNA vaccines. And for what an idea of what graphene oxide is, you have to look that up. You know what I'm saying? But the man was shortly killed after, bringing this information. After getting the shot, some people were having instances of metal and stuff getting stuck to them, et cetera, et cetera. But anyways, there are a lot of doctors who are doing private studies on the after effects of this vaccine, and it seems that the indications that it's potentially very detrimental to your overall well-being. And now on mainstream news and medias, you have Johnson Johnson, Pfizer, and these other companies who produce their own mRNA vaccines. They're publishing studies through mainstream news channels like CBS, Fox, mainstream news, that taking these vaccines there's a potential heart risk for taking these vaccines. Previously, before they made these statements in the mainstream media years ago, because these new findings were like published this year or the prior year or the end of 2024. Many whistleblowers and people were saying this stuff, and it was being written off as conspiracy theory or lies. Years later, these companies are producing studies that corroborate with what people were saying back then. Now, me personally, I did not take the COVID vaccine. Many of my friends didn't. Some did, some didn't. Some family members did, others didn't. Everybody had their own choice to make. Me, I want to see how this situation is played out, because this is a new technology, you know what I'm saying? And mRNA has not been used publicly, ever when it comes to vaccines. Now, the man who was partially responsible for developing the mRNA technology and has patents for it is Dr. Robert Malone. He is the one who helped, develop this technology back in the 80s. He himself got the mRNA shot, but afterward he changed his mind and decided that, it wasn't, that he doesn't recommend it. So the man who helped create the technology doesn't even recommend you take this shot, and he got the shot himself. And if you want to know more about this, you need to go to his YouTube channel or to his website, Dr. Robert Malone, and you can see what he thinks about the COVID vaccination shot and why he recommends you don't take it. At this point, how can I say? I don't know how this is going to play out, but I anticipate a lot of blowback surrounding these vaccines in the next few years. And that's all I have to say about that.